set out at first light. One step closer to the life I promised you.
Someday, this entire American continent will be ours.
It is great to get to chat with you both for American Primeval. I watched the show over the weekend, and it was just such an intense, such a powerful ride from start to finish. Saura, if you'd like to start with this one, and then Derek, one of the big things I love about this show is Abish and Red Feather's dynamic. It is one where there seems to be a respect between them, even though it is sort of a captive relationship. What was that like for each of you, finding that dynamic and that rhythm with one another?
Yeah, definitely. From the beginning, I think I always saw it as a yin and yang sort of relationship. They complement each other, even though both the characters are from very different backgrounds. And you see this with them, this chemistry that they have. It's like a dance. Abish is a captive, but it certainly doesn't feel that way the further in you go into the show, and you get to see two human beings form a connection and push each other and exist one next to the other. And it's a beautiful relationship. It's something that I don't think you get to see a lot of. But yeah, it's the forming of the relationship that's really special.
And then Derek, how about for yourself?
Yeah, man, it definitely was the balance, it was like that duality, I think Red Feather was just going this direction, and then he's seen Abish and had super respect for her defiance and her bravery. And it just brings this balance out of this man that's, he's kind of in imbalance because of what war has done to him, and she's brought him back down to being the human being, it's a real cool, a respect, I think for me it was the purity of intent there, just watching Abish work and then reacting to that.
I really love the way it plays out, and I can't wait for people to see it because, like you both have said, it really is. It's very unpredictable the way it plays out. And so, Saura, I'll turn back to you for this one. Obviously, as we start, though, it's Abish and Jacob, and there does seem to be that sort of uncertainty with one another. And I'd love to hear, did you feel that Abish had genuine love and affection for Jacob, or was there something deeper there?
Yeah, so you meet Abish as this pious Mormon wife, who's in this marriage that has kind of very quickly happened. And yeah, I don't think it's as black and white as she doesn't love him. I think, like life, it's it's complicated. I think she's trying to find her purpose. And she respects him a lot. I think that was always very important for me to make sure I got through, that she respects him for the man he is, but that doesn't necessarily mean she's in love with him. Marriage wasn't always, especially in Mormonism, it's not based off of being in love. It's a different matter. But that doesn't mean love doesn't exist. It also doesn't mean love can't form out of, being together and fighting for something that they both believe in. But I do think that then she gets taken out and she gets thrown into a very different existence and finding herself first.
I like that. That's a very great reflection on it, and I can't wait for people to see all of this show. It's just such a good show. I love talking about it. And Derek, I'll turn to you next. I was just talking with Julie about how important the representation was in this show, and I just love, Red Feather is just such a striking appearance with the war paint, with his outfit, and I'd love for you, or from what it was like for you to get in all that and then to see yourself when you finally did.
It was definitely powerful. I've always wanted to represent. I've always been taught to represent my people in a strong, good way, and to be able to do that on a world stage I really can't put words into that. I think the other day, my son got to watch the series with me a little bit, and I had my hair braided, and he's got super long hair too. But he looked at me and he's like, "Dad, you look badass." And that touched my soul, It just that just reinforced, that to be proud of who he is.
That's amazing. I'm glad that the show allowed you that opportunity to do so, and for both of you to really showcase your acting talents. So I see I got to wrap up. I will get on out of here, but thank you both so much for taking the time. Truly do appreciate it. I can't wait to get the word out about this show.
Appreciate you, man.
There's a war brewing in this territory. Brigham Young trying to make his kingdom. President tries to stomp it out.